Welcome on into a late night version of the Real Live with my
Late
man Mike
night.
Antonay. With my man Mike Antonay. As we react to this wild game we just watched, Ohio State beats Notre Dame in walk-off fashion. Game-winning drive. Whole lot. Lorraine Day goes off after the game on Lou Holtz. Uh,
Vince
Davante,
McMahon style.
shout out to Davante Trainum, Hoban alum, Akron, Ohio, stand up with the game-winning touchdown. Uh, Kyle McCord throwing a Mecca Buka all night and it works. I mean, where do we start, Mike? What a hell of a game.
Honestly, it was a snooze fest until the second half, but
Yeah,
um,
the end of the game was a fireworks there at the end. A lot of up and down. I
yeah.
mean,
And
gosh, yeah.
here,
First
you
half was
know
a
this
snooze
about
fest. Oh,
me.
gosh.
You know this about me, and people who listen to the show know this about me. I like college football, don't love it. But
Right.
if the Browns do this to me tomorrow, I'm gonna have to drink bleach because that that was so like gut wrenching, just like every single play, and
Oh my
then like
gosh.
I mean, even the last play of the game, they were like,
Yeah.
"Is he down?" You know, like I did the ball across the threshold, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, I swear to God, not like this. We can't go out like this. And then luckily they did rule it a touchdown. And again, Kyle McCord really should have pulled the like Aaron Rodgers, "We still own you" thing, or like one of them should have, because Notre Dame, it like they always talk the big talk, and then they play us, and then they lose every year, and it's going
Every
to happen
year.
again next year. Next year, they're going to say they're going to beat us again because they're going to be like, "Oh, Marvin Harrison's
We don't
gone."
play him next year, so
Oh, we don't.
no. That was scheduled for back to back. We don't play him again. Probably if we play him again, it'll be in the playoff. But yeah,
We'll
first
see.
half was snooze fest. It was 0-0 all the way up until the end of the half. Mike was I was watching the game with Mike. We were just sitting there like, gosh, this is terrible. Uh, nothing no team could really get anything going on offense at all. Teams would get down in the red zone. We got down on the one, we couldn't convert. Uh, we kicked the field goal there at the end of the half. Just a boring half offensively on both sides of the ball. Both teams trying to run the ball a lot, Mike. I think we both saw that right away. And both teams
Right.
stayed committed to the run all night. But in the second half, though, I thought I was a little nervous there at the end of the third, and because Notre Dame really controlled that second half, time possession wise. Had
Oh
at
yeah.
one point they had way more plays than we did.
They had that
Um,
one monster drive. They looked like that pass game couldn't get like
yeah,
stopped.
they
Like they
just
chunked
bulldozed
like
down the field and scored. Dude even lost the helmet when he scored and got up, started screaming, and I was like, okay, well, that was an impressive drive there. Um, but we came right back though. I will say though, every time we needed to at least have a play on either side of the ball. We made it, especially defensively. I thought JT2 Maloa came up huge there at the end with
oh
the sack and almost picked it right there too. He had the play of the game probably with the sack because we don't get that sack there. Who knows? I mean, Sam Hartman's a pretty solid quarterback. Um, yeah, I mean, what stood out to you in that second half, Mike? I mean, that was to me. I thought that sack right there, and then we'll get to the game-winning drive here in a minute. But what really stood out to you in that? Because first half, there wasn't much going on at all.
no, there wasn't a lot going on. What stood out to me in the first half was just both defenses were playing completely lights out. um, oh, excuse me, frog in my throat. Um, yeah, both defenses playing lights out. Our kicker can hit a field goal better than their kicker. That's all I really learned from the first half. The it was good to see them use all three running backs, and Trevion Henderson had a couple really good runs. Cade Stover, who
Had a
was
hell of
good
a
last
game.
year, yeah, who was good last year, continues to be Kyle McCord's favorite target. And I get it. Like if you're um, if you're system quarterback, I guess you can say, tight ends are your best friend. They're big. They usually run routes in the seam in the middle of the field, and they're easy to find. And if you have a good tight end, super important. And Cade Stover not only has been helping the Buckeyes win consistently, um, since the season started. I think he's been the most improved player because I always thought he was a solid tight end, but
Yeah,
I didn't think he was a
he had some big
focal
ass
point of
catches
the offense.
tonight. He had some huge catches.
Yeah,
How about that one where it was tipped in the air and McCord tried to throw it away last second and he got tipped in the
yeah,
air and he
tipped in the
caught
air
it
and he
and
it.
got the first down. That was the craziest play I thought all
Heads
night.
up play, very heads up play.
Very heads up play. That was a great. Yeah, Kate Stover was unbelievable. The player of the game was Emeka Ibuka.
Yes,
Man, he is so clutch. I never seen a guy make so many clutch catches in one game. Well, I don't know in a long time. I mean, every time you needed him, he just showed up. I mean, it was just
yeah,
like
that fourth down play. Obviously, that's there are a lot of plays that you could say were play of the game, but I think that's the play of the game. You're double covered. It's fourth down. I see the pressure coming on to Kyle McCord. He gets rid of the ball. I thought it was just a Hail Mary, but it was a well placed ball.
That was a
And
great throw right there in the goal line.
it was, and he absorbed the contact because again, Mecca was double covered. They knew that's another big target for Kyle, and he absorbed the contact, caught the ball clean, got the first down, and basically it allowed us to win the game.
Yeah, and
And
I think too a shout out to Julian Fleming, who doesn't get a lot of targets. He's more of a blocking receiver now in this time of his career.
is that number 0 or is that number 14?
Number four, who had the fourth down conversion before that.
Yeah,
Remember,
yeah,
there was the 4th and 9 and the 4th and 7, I believe, with the game on the line. They knew everybody was going to zeroed in on number 18 and number 2. I like the play call from Ryan Day. It was just an easy double slant, and he came on the backside of it and was wide open and extended for the first down. I like that play call. Also, tell that McCord we'll go to that drive now. On the beginning of that drive, McCord had a hell of a play he made. What a great read where number 0 came in the game. Xavier Johnson, he's the block O recipient, the captain of the team. Senior doesn't play a whole lot, but when you need him though, he comes in. And they blitzed the corner off of him, and McCord read it perfectly and threw it to him right away. And he got the big 20-yard. It was like 20-yard game.
Oh yeah, that was a
huge play.
That was a huge play, and just the offense showed up when they needed to. They didn't seem rattled.
Time though, there was some throws. You're like, oh gosh, they almost threw a pick.
Oh yeah, it wasn't pretty, but like they got the job done, and Notre Dame's a good team, and they weathered the storm and were able to come up with it. They do have a very very good defensive line.
Yeah, Javonte John Baptiste, who was a Buckeye the last like 3 years, had a hell of a game against his former team.
He did. He very much did.
He had a great game. He's a pretty good player.
Yeah, but it was a nail biter, and Cade Stover's pushing his draft stock up.
I thought too. I don't know about you, but I thought our corners actually played a pretty good game. A lot of the receptions went to the tight end.
Yeah, I
thought our corners overall, Denzel Burke, you didn't hear his name at all tonight, so that's a good sign from Denzel Burke. You didn't hear his name at all. That means he was locking dude down. Brandon, they kept targeting Benosa, who I like. He's a pretty physical player. He had one PI call on him, but overall he played a pretty solid game. A lot of the throws were just in the middle where they funneled it to the tight end. Found the soft spot. Other than the run game, I thought overall the defense was pretty damn good. I mean, they only gave up 14 points to a team that's been averaging almost 40 every game.
Yeah, I thought they were very solid. Linebackers played well. The only critique I have, outside of Tuamulau, they're not, and I've noticed this even a couple of past games. They've been having trouble getting pressure up the middle. And I know like Ohio State's never been known per se for the defensive tackle room by any means, but the past couple of years it's been something where they can kind of just live with. This year
tonight though.
They got it when they needed it. But
I do like their Mike Hall, who went to Streetsboro High School, had that big tackle there. A couple big tackles tonight. He's been pretty solid. I thought Tyleek's been pretty good. I think it's gotten better. I think the scheme, and they've put Jack Sawyer back at the 9 and just let him just bull rush. And I think that's really helped out a lot. with that, and I think too the linebacker plays well. But I think up the no, I agree. I think in the past you could have used it more. I at times you don't see it. But I
Right.
thought tonight they did pretty good. I mean, they gave up a couple big runs that drive, but I mean, here that running back number 7, he's usually been that dude's been killing all year. He's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
They did a pretty nice job containing him tonight, I thought, overall.
Yeah, I thought they did a good job overall as well. I mean, considering, um, at times it looked like it was going to get ugly.
Yeah. You just didn't know, like, especially in the end of the game there when they're pushing the ball like that and we're running out of timeouts, you're kind of like, okay. But again, to play the game to me was Tuimoloau out sack, because without that sack, there is no game-winning drive. So,
Right.
he was quiet all game too. Like you were wondering, like, he's the best defensive player probably out there. You're kind of wondering, like, okay, when are we going to hear his name? But when you needed him most, he showed up and he showed out in a big way. And I guess we'll go to that game-winning drive now. I mean, just a nail-biting drive, a lot of third down conversions, a lot of fourth down conversions. What does this game say to you about Kyle McCord? Because to me, wasn't pretty at times. Obviously, he's got to get a lot better still in a lot of areas for a young guy. But I what really stood out to me though, Mike, was his poise for a young player.
You know what, you took legitimately. I know I say this a lot, but you legit took the word right out of my mouth. That was the exact word I was going to use. I was going to say, if anything, he looked poised. Faced
Which
a
is
lot of
actually a
adversity.
very good sign going forward.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Faced a lot of adversity, made some bad throws, but didn't let it rattle him. And when it came down to the wire and he had to make the plays to win the game, he did. And at the end of the day, a dub's a dub. It doesn't matter what the score is. Doesn't matter if you win by 50 or 5. The stat sheet's still going to show a W next to the game. And I thought he looked extremely poised. I thought the O line held up
iffy.
decently well. It was a little iffy, especially at the guard. 75.
The tackle play wasn't good in the second half.
No, the tackle play was actually the best part, but I don't know who 75 is, but that dude was getting blown off the line.
That's the tackle. Yeah, on the outside, I believe it's Fryer.
No, I thought he was the right guard.
No, it was Fryer and Simmons. They had a rough second half on the offensive line, I thought.
Yeah, he was getting blown off
as well. One thing I like about McCord too is he doesn't turn the ball over. He just doesn't turn the ball over. I mean, he had one bad play tonight. It was the intentional grounding. But hell, even that though, I mean, he threw it away, but it still kept him in the game, and he capitalized on the next play. So
right,
I like he doesn't panic. He's very poised. There's a lot of young players his age and that are in his type part of his career that wouldn't have done that tonight. In a lot of teams, they would have just kind of melted down and threw a pick, or he did almost throw the one pick though. But each time he was done, you thought he was out. He just kept coming back, and he kept coming back. And it's his favorite target is Ibuka by far.
Oh yeah, I mean, and again, which is surprising a little bit because he has all that built up history with Marvin Harrison Jr. But
yeah,
it kind of goes back to what I was saying about Cade. Like, not that Marvin Harrison is a small man by any means.
He's 6'4".
Right, he's a pretty big receiver, but Ibuka is just even bigger. And like Harrison is a very twitchy, refined route runner. Can get to the ball, make plays on the ball. But Ibuka is he reminds me of he's like a T. Higgins prototype. You know what I mean? Like, just
I don't think he's that big though. He's not that tall, Ibuka.
He plays big though.
He plays big. You know who he reminds me of is
maybe Terry McLaurin a little bit.
I'm gonna use an NFL analogy with the Patriots remember Julian Edelman, just a tough guy, tough catches, tough clutch catches. That's who he reminds me of. Is like Julian Edelman late in games. Who was Tom looking to? Edelman.
Yeah,
he was always open. He was always getting those tough clutch. What I mean, just like a tough slot guy. I mean, he caught that ball on the goal line with like 3 guys around him. It was Kyle couldn't have threw that ball in any other place where he threw it.
And quick side note, Julian Edelman, the weirdest football player ever. Just like that he exists as a player and has a Super Bowl MVP. Still mind-boggling.
He had a hell of a career.
Yeah, good for him.
Kent State alone.
Kent State quarterback.
Yeah. I like Julian Edelman. He was actually one of my favorites. I like watching him play.
I like his Bill Belichick impression.
Dude, he's got
It's
the
pretty
best
great.
Belichick impression. Have you seen his Randy Moss impersonation?
No,
You
I
got to go
haven't.
watch it on the New Heights with Kelsey Brothers. He does this Randy Moss impersonation. He talk about how like Randy Moss just making him go get his like hot tub ready for him after practice when he was a rookie and put him through all the Ricky hazing and it's
Yeah,
hilarious.
my
It is
favorite was the red
hilarious.
glove thing. Oh, of
Yeah,
course
red
you got
gloves.
all freaking red gloves over here.
Yeah, Ernie and I could see that from the press box.
That's great.
Yeah, it is a hell of an analogy though. You're playing a team with that color jersey, you should wear those gloves because
Yeah, it's smart. And Jason
like
Kelsey was like,
did you notice all the Browns players the other Monday night versus Steelers? They had all black gloves on.
yeah, all black gloves.
All right. It's attack, you should. But
Yeah.
But no, I thought McCord though overall. What would you give him? What grade would you give McCord for this game?
Um. I'm gonna give him a 6
No,
because
like
he did.
like A B C D, like A plus, A minus, B minus.
Oh,
I want to do a grade.
well, 6 is kind of like a C plus. It's like
You're giving
a
a C plus.
decent, yeah, decent passing grade. Like, yeah, he didn't do enough for a B or anything like that, but he stayed poised. He did enough to win. His stats don't blow you out of the water, but when it came down to it, he did the job. I think C plus is fair.
I'm gonna give him a B minus. I think you're accurate in his performance, C plus. But I'm gonna give him a B minus. I'm gonna give him that extra grade just because of his poise, just how he stood in. He stood in there, even after the intentional grounding. He just kept coming back, and that really says something to me. That really talks about a lot about the kind of player you are, and kind of just your poise and just your toughness, like Ryan said. I'm gonna give him a B minus because I just think there's a lot of guys that would have folded. I was really impressed with just. And you know what, man? He made some pretty damn clutch throws too. I mean, he had some misses.
Yeah.
And he had some throws. People go, a lot of people maybe were looking down, like, okay, we got to make this throw here. Like the miss,
Yeah,
he missed the one to train him on that drive. The train him might have took it up, but he's got to make that one. But I think he knows that, and I think. But I'm giving the when he needed some big ass throws, he made some big ass throws. I mean,
yeah, B minus is fair too. I just say C plus because like. Maybe I'm being a little bit more critical, but yeah,
No, I think you're fair. I'm just looking at the context of the game. His first big game, and how he won. Yeah, I mean how he won to me says a lot.
Yeah, there were just some routes that like because I watched a little bit of the tape before we went on, and there were just some routes Marvin was just wide open or he missed.
Yeah,
just
he
like wide open guys, and Kyle, he's still young. He's still young.
You saw some. I guess you want to call a rookie. I don't know. You just saw some young guy errors a lot.
Yeah, just like not going through his progressions, worrying about the pressure, doesn't want to take the sack, which is a poise thing. Like he's trying not to see him in a worse position.
Ryan Day's always taking his guys, and as the year goes on, they always get better and better and better. Where by the end of the year, they're playing pretty damn well. So I expect this. I think you'll see that. I think as the weeks go on, their next big game is Penn State at home. So I think by then we'll see an even better Kyle McCord. But yeah, I mean I like what I see. I see why they started now because I still stand on what I heard too and said about Devin Brown. I just think Devin Brown is just not ready yet to run the operation. He's got a lot of upside, very talented kid, had a great camp, but I think that Ryan himself went with Kyle because of kind of the things we saw tonight. He knows the system, but he doesn't turn the ball over. He just he doesn't make stupid mistakes. He just he's got to work on his passing in his game a little more and get more comfortable in the offense still as the season goes on. But they got a hell of a run game to rely on. I mean, what'd you think of that run there by Trainum coming out of the half after they got first out the fourth down stuff. I like how Marcus Freeman's like, we're going for it every time a fourth down. They come out and sneak it and they get stuffed. And then we come out the next play and just boom.
Yeah, I thought that was great. I mean, the run, I thought the run fits were great. I thought, the run scheming was really good the whole game, except that one play that I thought we had lost the game on that wide receiver end around on 4th and inches.
Yeah, what I didn't like that play call there at all.
Nobody did.
Yeah, I did not like that.
You just check Twitter every.
I get what he's thinking because he knows they're going to stack the box, and you think maybe a Buka on the outside. It's dangerous. He's good with the ball in his hands, but it wasn't executed properly. It was number one was Kate Stover didn't block well on that play. Neither did G. The blocking on the perimeter wasn't as good, and I'm not a fan of that play call. I think you just give it to train him. any short yardage, just give the ball to train him. He's gonna get it
right. Yeah,
90%.
Well, like it's 4th and inches. Like QB sneak it. Like do the thing every other college team's doing. Copy the Eagles. Just do a freaking QB push. Like what are you doing?
All you do is hike the ball and take a step forward. Just walk behind the center's ass, and you're in.
So no, seriously, copy the Eagles like everybody else is doing. Florida State did it like 3 times today. Just do that little weird bunch where like you get the 2 tight ends like angled out in front of the like next to the quarterback, and then the running back behind him. And
just push him in there. But I don't know. I don't care. It still worked.
We won. So like that play still makes me mad when I think about it.
I'll be honest though, I did not expect Ryan Day to go off like that in the post game, like that.
Oh God, that was so great.
Dude, I did not expect that at all. I was sitting there watching. I looked at my dad. He's just like, he's got this face like, damn. Like I did not expect this dude to go off on Lou Holtz. I don't even know what Lou Holtz said. I'm gonna look up what Lou Holtz actually said. Do you know what he said?
Yeah, I do. Adam Schefter tweeted it out.
Adam Schefter did?
Yeah.
Let me pull it up.
He tweeted out the video.
Okay, let me pull it up here.
Maybe it was Ian Rappaport. It might have been Ian. Can't remember.
Hold on. Let me find his quote here. Let me type in Lou Holtz. And let's see. Because, he was going off, man. I was like, damn. Okay. Lou Holtz was on the Pat McAfee show. I'm going to play it, Mike. I'm going to put it in the phone up to the mic. So let's see what he says here. Yeah, this is from Adam Schefter on Twitter. This is on the Pat McAfee show yesterday. This is Lou Holtz.
Notre Dame is a better football team than Ohio State.
Love hearing that.
And let me tell you why. We have the best offensive line in the country. Sam Hartman won't even get his jersey dirty all year. He has time to throw the football. The offensive line, we have great running backs. Esteem is averaging about 10 yards a carry. We have great receivers. So offensively, we're set. Defensively, our defensive line's better. And you look at Coach Day, and I coached at Ohio State under Woody Hayes. We won the national championship when I was there.
That's right.
So I'm proud of that. However, he has lost to Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, Michigan twice, and everybody that beats him does so because they're more physical than Ohio State. And I think Notre Dame will take that same approach. I know that our schedule, it hasn't been the best. We're 103rd in strength of schedule. However, that doesn't bother me because every day we get to practice against good. We get to practice covering our good receivers. Won't be much different than covering the great receiver they have at Ohio State. And plus, we're playing at home. It'll be a close football game, but we will win because we believe. Forget who in the hell we're playing. Just tell Ohio State this. You take this message to Ohio State. You tell them they better bring their lunch because it's going to be a full damn day's work.
I love that. Hey, hope you heard that, AJ. Hope you heard that, pal.
So that's what Lou Holtz said on the Pat McAfee show yesterday.
Lou Holtz, God love him.
Yeah, I mean, I love his spirit. He's a legendary coach, but
oh yeah,
I mean, a lot of that stuff's just hype talk.
Trash talk. Trash talk.
Well, he should say that. He's a Notre Dame guy. He should say that. I mean, obviously, but Notre Dame didn't finish the game there. Ohio State did.
No.
And I thought the tougher team actually was Ohio State at the end of the game because
I agree.
They made the smarter plays. They stuck in the game. They didn't make the boneheaded plays. And here, you know what? Ryan Day should poke his chest out because that has been a
where's Blue? I love
he's like, where's he at?
He's screaming at it like I legit. It reminded me of Vince McMahon in WWE.
I like when he was like, "Sorry, but this is personal."
Yeah. And all these Notre Dame fans saying like, "Oh, Ohio's so awful." Isn't Notre Dame? Correct me if I'm wrong, and Google this because I'm not sure. Isn't Notre Dame in Gary, Indiana?
Yeah, it's in Indiana. I think it's in South Bend.
But is it in the city of Gary?
No, I think it's South Bend, Indiana.
Oh, okay.
They're in Indiana.
Okay. Yeah, like I'm pretty sure South Bend is near Gary, which is legitimately worldwide known. And I apologize if you're listening to this and you're from Gary, Indiana. The Jackson family's from there, so
Hold on.
that's a good thing.
There's Garland's from.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't think they're in Gary though, Mike. I think they're in.
How far is South Bend? How far is Notre Dame from Gary, Indiana?
They're not in. No, they're in South Bend. That's in South Bend.
How far is that from Gary, Indiana? Let's just do a quick. Let's do a quick Mac Quest that shit.
I think it's not too far. Gary's up over by heading towards Chicago.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say they're in Gary, Indiana, for the sake of this argument.
Well,
so you've been relocated.
It's in the middle. It's like from Cleveland to Toledo.
Oh, that's pretty far.
Yeah. Yeah. Not even.
Well, Indiana sucks. Anyway, like who lives in Indiana?
Yeah, we'll just say Indiana. How about that? Just the state of Indiana.
It's a shitty state. You got Indianapolis, which is just a worse Cleveland, which is like, come on. Like, I don't get it. Sorry, by the way, if y'all are from Indiana.
No, I mean, I've been I've been to Indiana a couple times, but I don't know. They should be talking about Ohio when it comes to football, though. I could tell you that. I don't. It's not even comparable. But I mean, here, that's 2 years in a row we beat them. So they had their 2 shots. Here we beat them in the bowl games too. Every year we played them too. So beat them in the Fiesta Bowl in 15. So they've had 3 cracks at us, Mike. They couldn't beat us anytime.
Weak. They got weak bones.
Yeah, they don't have the speed to keep up with it. I think we always have.
No, they don't. You know what? Quote Lou Holtz. Notre Dame just doesn't have physicality.
Right.
He's not physical enough.
That's why
they're not a big physical enough football team.
And you've noticed he named all the people Ryan Day. Who the hell's Notre Dame beat? Who is Notre Dame beat?
So I think he was actually saying they are going to win because they practice against good because they're practicing against their own good receivers.
And our defensive line is better than theirs.
Yeah, I don't get it. Lou Holtz is being Lou Holtz. He's like 1,000 years old, and he's a Notre Dame guy.
Our line's better. Our best player on defense made the game-winning play with the sack that gave us a shot to win the fucking game, and he's over there talking about our D line's better. Like what?
No, I don't.
Sorry, bro. It ain't
maybe overall, but like JT 2.
No, it's not overall. It's not even close. Trust me, Mike. I know our D line is much better than theirs. They have a better offensive line. He's right there. They have a very good offensive line, a great offensive line. That's why it was a tough night for our D line to get something going. But when we needed the most, our D line stepped up. Theirs didn't.
Correctamundo.
I mean, Kyle McCord had some good time in that pocket for a lot of the game.
Right.
I thought the O-line at times was solid, but so they got clean up some things. But yeah, I don't know, but I don't mind. The funny part too is, and like he calmed down right after. He's like, yeah, we wanted to go to Marv at the end of the game because he's best. He's like he's the best receiver in the world, and but we just said we're just gonna run it, and that's what we did. We ran it in. He just starts going real calm. He's like, okay, I'm sorry, thanks for your patience. Just runs off like. I couldn't go. I didn't see. I know he already had his presser while we were doing this. I couldn't go watch that real quick because I want to see if they ask him about that. Somebody asked him about that. But yeah. But what a game though, Mike. What a game. What a second half, rather. First half was crickets.
Yeah, what a great half of football.
Yeah. The second half was what a lot of people thought the game was going to be. But again, I mean, a lot of times you get in these matchups, though. That's what happens, We got to go back to Indiana again, Mike. We have to go back to the state of Indiana for a third time this year.
Wait, why?
We play Maryland next week, and then after Maryland, we go on the road to Purdue.
Oh God,
We got
that's a lot of Indiana. We played the Hoosiers already too.
Yeah, we played them week 1. And we have to go to South Bend, not Gary, and then we have to go to you said Gary, Indiana, and then we got to go. And you were about to just take a mega dump on Gary, Indiana, like the poor.
It's a terrible city. Come on, everybody knows Gary's a terrible city. We've all seen the Jacksons documentary. It's a terrible city. Look, they made little Michael Jackson grab his own switch and they beat him with it.
We got Garland from Gary, Indiana.
Okay, he got out. Good for him. A lot of people don't. It's not a good place. It's like if you made Akron worse. And I'm from Akron. It kind of sucks. I don't know how you can make it worse. It's like, what if Akron didn't have the Goodyear blimp? That's what Gary, Indiana is.
Well, Akron's got a lot more than Gary, Indiana. But no disrespect to Gary, Indiana. I mean, shout out to people. But
I'm disrespecting Gary.
Yeah, you don't care. Just like you took a dump on the city of Cincinnati last year after that game.
No,
I remember that one.
That's a horrible town, too.
Yeah. By the way, rough sled right now in Cincinnati, Mike. Rough sled. Joe Burrow, I don't see him get hurt, obviously. I don't know, man. You think they go 0-3 after this week?
I mean, Sean
McVay could dial anything up and go in there and win.
Yeah, I mean, the Rams are a little bit more competitive than I think everybody gave them credit for in the offseason.
Donald, they got Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, they got this rookie, Pakua,
something.
Pakua Nuwaka, something like that, who's been extremely surprising. He's been catching everything. And on top of all of that, there's a little bit of discourse right now in the Bengals locker room. Like Jamar Chase told the media, he's like, I prefer Joe not to play. I think he might be hurting the team.
Jamar Chase has said a lot of too many things this year.
Huh?
Jamar Chase has said a lot of things in the media so far this year.
Yeah. And that's the thing. He said, his boy Joe Burrow has been hurting the team by playing hurt, and he'd rather him wait to be 100%. But I don't think it matters. I still think they very well could lose.
Did he help out his quarterback when he made those comments week 1?
No.
No. Okay, then I don't want to hear from him. Just go out there.
No, but I'm just saying, Jake Browning or Jake Browning or Joe Burrow or AJ McCarron, whoever they throw out there. They just signed AJ McCarron, so maybe they actually know a little bit more, and they might be sitting Joe Burrow a little bit longer. AJ McCarron's got a little bit more experience. He's from the XFL. He's been playing football recently. Jake Browning's never taken or started a game. So
yeah, no, I get it, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, oh, there we go. Sorry about that. No, tomorrow's gonna be interesting. We'll be definitely react to the Browns game tomorrow night. Mike's gonna be at the game tomorrow. That'll be interesting. So we'll have somebody there also watching it live in person. I'll be watching it from the TV. We'll react tomorrow night for sure. Hopefully a Browns win tomorrow night, Mike, to cap off an Ohio State win tonight and a Browns win tomorrow. Then that sounds good. And then Cincinnati loses on Monday night.
Yes, and the Steelers lose to the Raiders, and the Ravens lose to the Colts.
They could lose to the Raiders. I mean, Max Crosby.
The Raiders are sneaky good.
Max Crosby. I mean, as bad as the Steelers' offense is, you can't tell me the Steelers don't have the worst offense in the league right now.
Oh, it's horrible. And here's the thing. I think it's going to take some time to click, but I was really high on Tyree Wilson coming out, and he hasn't looked great so far, but they still have a pretty good pass rush. They have a great young corner. And I told you Michael Mayer was going to be a great tight end.
I like Michael Mayer. I said Michael Mayer was good. I liked him last year. He torched Ohio State last year. And they drafted my man Trey Tucker, too, out of Akron, Ohio. Receiver. He got some touch last week. I want to see him get more. I want to see them get, if I could talk, I want to see him get more involved. I think he could be a weapon for them with his speed. But,
right.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. I think the Browns, too, tomorrow. I think we'll win tomorrow. I feel pretty good about tomorrow. I think Kareem Hunt actually scores a touchdown tomorrow, Mike. I'm calling it.
I'll be surprised.
I don't think he's going to play a lot, but I think they're going to put him in there in the red zone. Like, that's what he's best at.
Yeah, I think he gets maybe
Yeah,
eight.
I think they win tomorrow. Though I just don't think Tannehill and the Titans' offense is. You just take away the run. I mean, what are they?
Right, and I
don't expect Deshaun to be what we saw last week. I think he will be. How much better tomorrow? We'll see. But I think he will be better tomorrow against a worse secondary.
Yeah, I would be happy if he throws for over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns, no picks.
Solid
if he does
game.
That.
He just needs a solid game, get his confidence going. Stefanski needs to call some better plays, and everything will be all right. But they cannot do the same shit they did Monday night. It ain't gonna work. But I think they know that. I think they panicked, and they even said they panicked. You lose your best player, you throw a pick on the first play of the game, like first play you probably wish you had back in the calling. So we'll see what happens, but we'll enjoy this tonight, though, Mike. I'm still fired up from that game. That was a hell of a in there. What a finish! Next week we play Maryland. Then after Maryland, play Purdue, and about 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, rather, October 21st, we play Penn State at home. So that's our next big game.
I will be getting married.
All right, so maybe they get a win on the night you get married. How about that against Penn State?
That would be lovely. And the next day, the Browns play the Colts. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so. And then the next week after that, we play Wisconsin. That's a tough stretch there on the road to Wisconsin.
That'll be
yeah, that'll be a tough one.
I'd say quarterback is very good.
Drew Aller.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from Medina High School. I watched him his whole high school career. He's pretty damn cool. He's pretty damn good, Drew Aller. He was the man of Medina. Lee 11 guy. It's gonna be a hell of a game. They won tonight too. They beat Iowa at home. Michigan, though, they're winning, but I don't know if they're as good as people have said. Are they the number 2 ranked team in the country, Mike?
It's a weird year.
Been a little iffy. JJ's been good, but he hasn't been.
Yeah, it's a weird year. I mean,
they put 30 points on East Carolina, 35 on UNLV, 31 on Bowling Green, and 31 on Rutgers.
Yeah, and Rutgers kept it close.
And Bowling Green was surprisingly a closer game.
But
I'm just saying, if Ohio State had the scores, we wouldn't hear the end of it.
I wonder what Michigan's going to look like when Blake Corum goes to the draft. That's what I would love to see.
Oh, I think this is their last year. This is their last shot at it. Because number one, I think Harbaugh is leaving after this year. To be honest with you, and their recruiting class has not looked great after this year.
Right.
A lot of people are saying 2024 Michigan's not going to be nearly as good as this team. Like this is it. This is their year to win it.
I mean, just having him back there. I mean, is just like you're just. You have to account for them, and it gives them so many options because you're worried about the run because Blake Corum can turn.
Well, they have a pretty damn good offensive line too. I mean, I like their center a lot. Drake Nugent, transferred in from Stanford, really good player. Probably might be a first, second round pick. Yeah, but obviously we'll keep an eye on Michigan, but right now we'll focus on this one. Just got to take care of these 2 games coming up before we get to Penn State. So. But all right, Mike. That was the recap of tonight. Anything else on the way out of here?
Go Browns.
Go Browns and go Bucks. Go Bucks tonight.
Go Bucks. Go Bucks tonight. Thanks for you. Tomorrow's for Cleveland. Let's go. Let's go Browns. I hope I find parking.
Yeah, you better.
Pray for me.
You need to go park. My dad told you to park, Mike. You'll be just fine.
Pray for me.
You'll get right out of there in no time.
Yeah. Pray for me. Pray that I find parking quickly.
Yeah. Well, let's hope we get a win tomorrow, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Mike and I'll be on tomorrow night for the post-game show, so tune in for that. And, we'll see you guys in the next one. We're out of here. Go Browns and go Bucks.
Peace.
Gone.